All right. So here's where I'm at in this week is there's been a super weird vibe recently between players, specifically in the NBA, as you see here. You see Draymond, you see Durant, you see Kyrie, versus the media, whether it's Stephen A, Skip, Nick Wright, also Kendrick Perkins. There's been so much back and forth beef between these people, and you don't see this right now in other leagues. You really, really don't. And for me, listen, you could pick a side in this, and I think both have some fault in this. But if I'm picking a side, I'm picking the media. The media's on the right here. Listen, like Skip Bayless knows what he's doing, right? He has to be, to make it big and be who he is today, he has to have controversial takes. He has to lay it out there. He has to be animated. And Draymond comes out and says, Skip has rode the coattails of LeBron to create his career. And quite frankly, Draymond should applaud that. If that's true, good job, Skip Bayless. You have taken, you're not a talented athlete, and you have rode the coattails of LeBron James and dogged on LeBron James his whole career to the success you have. Congratulations. Draymond is the epitome of that in the NBA. He's not the most talented player out there, but he will get under your skin. He will use every mental tactic he can, whether it's against the opposing team or with the officials, to get an advantage. He has rode the coattails of Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and all of these guys, and somehow people talk about him as a top 75 player of all time. F that. He's not even anywhere near that. He would honestly, off camera and off mic, applaud what Skip Bayless has achieved, quite frankly, because Skip Bayless is an idiot at times and does make bad takes and is theatrical. But that's exactly who Draymond Green is on the court. So don't you dare call out Skip Bayless for this, because that's who you exactly are. KD getting all upset because Shaq is calling out players and being like, oh, Shaq's just jealous because he didn't make that type of money when he was in the league. And then Shaq comes out and he's like, you're right. I'm mad that, Rudy Gobert is making $250 million on his new contract, and I didn't even get that money. And quite frankly, Durant should be like, thank you, Shaq, for building the game enough at the peak of the game to give us the money that we are now getting. It's not that Durant's not great. He is great. But he has a mental side that's a mess, and I hate it. You get Kyrie Irving here. Kyrie Irving's been in an argument with Kendrick Perkins, a former player, obviously on ESPN now. And Kendrick Perkins said everything that I would agree with. He said, Kyrie Irving coming out with a list of teams he wants to be traded to is the most idiotic, dumb thing I've ever seen. And guess what? It was proven right. It was proven right. Kyrie, guess what? Of the 8 teams he decided he wanted to be traded to, it was reported that only the Lakers were interested. And guess what? The Lakers, to be interested, didn't want to get rid of, obviously, LeBron or Anthony Davis. But hey, they'd be happy to unload Westbrook if you want to pay him $47 million next year to be on your team for no reason. Kyrie looked like an idiot in that. And then he gets all sensitive about it. I just don't understand why NBA players are so soft. The NBA culture is so soft. They get caught up with the fights in the media, which, listen, you don't look good getting in fights with the media. All right? Even if you think you're on the right side, and you very well could be, you still lose. You still lose because it's not a winning proposition. All right. Do you see other sports where it's like this? And the NBA has this also. It's the only sport where, the superstars are all of a sudden, I don't know, this year, I know I signed a long-term deal a year before, but this year didn't go like I wanted, and I want out. I want to move to another team. Trade me. So once the going gets tough, NBA players are like, I'd rather just try it somewhere else. I want to join a, super team with all these elite talents, and maybe I can win there. How about that? It just doesn't make sense to me. Draymond wants to talk about this new media versus old without defining it. But what the new media is is these. Listen, I get it, Draymond. I get it. I love that a lot of these, Draymond has this podcast, ESPN hires McCollum and who's the point guard with the Timberwolves that thinks he's the best defender in the league that I can't think of his name with. I like that they add these guys in to get the perspective of active players in the league and what their thoughts are. But quite frankly, they're going to take care of their own. They're not going to say bad things about guys in the league. They're not. All right? Draymond doesn't say a bad thing about anybody. Really? He's soft when it comes to that. And I get that. If I'm in a league, I'm not dogging on someone else in the league. I respect that. I'm going to wait. But these guys, it's almost more intriguing to watch these guys in the media that don't have that pull. Like, they don't have any care in the world. They can talk whatever they want because they're not that athlete. They're just going to be honest and real, or even if they're fake, they're going to be loud about it and they're going to have a hot take about it. And quite frankly, that drives viewership whether you like it or not. NBA players, stop falling for this trick. You look soft, you look shitty. Just don't fall for it. Don't comment on it. Why are you caught up with Skip Bayless, who probably can't even make a free throw in 10 attempts, talking about how you're not good enough, LeBron or Draymond or whoever it is? Who cares? That's his job, to be controversial and have hot takes. And he's successful for it. Reward him for that. Stop getting involved because it makes you look soft and weak and like you don't have the mentality to handle everything that being a superstar in the league involves. You don't see that in the NHL. You don't see that in the NFL where guys are spouting back at guys and it's like a camaraderie in the NBA where they protect their own. I get that, but stop. It looks dumb. Don't do it. You might even be on the wrong side of things, but it's not worth it. Go get paid, go do what you do, and ignore these guys. This might get clipped and be on an Instagram feed or a TikTok, and half the people will be like, great take, and the other half will be like, that's the worst take I've ever heard. I don't care. As long as it drives viewership and like a debate, that's perfect. That's what you should want in the league if you're an athlete. That's what gets you paid, is debate and intrigue. Not... I just don't understand how these NBA players don't get it. They don't get it. I hate it. It's frustrating at times, and it only occurs in the NBA. But I'm siding with the media. Even though they're... And Draymond with Nick Wright was like, stand on your take when you said the Warriors would never win once they signed Wiggins. And then and Nick Wright has some bad takes. But he even said, he was like, I am standing on it. I'm wrong. I was wrong on this one. He had fully admitted he never hid from it. He was wrong. Guess what? If some of these NBA players had to have hot takes like that, they'd be wrong a lot too. When you have to be a media person in this mentality and do and pick and decide things, you're going to be wrong a lot of the time. And that's just reality. And for them to hate on that is stupid. I've run off way too long on this one. I apologize, but I appreciate you guys hanging in here. I don't know how you guys feel, but the players in the NBA are so soft and stupid sometimes.